Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Ace and I've got another TF2 commentary here for you. As you can see, I'll be playing as a scout, and this video will be a one life video, which means that I don't die, which I suppose is fortunate for me and unfortunate for the people who like my death comments. And normally I tend to talk about a specific weapon or weapons, and this video will be more about something I like to do as a scout with a weapon set, or not specifically a weapon set, but just a set of weapons when I'm just messing about. Or as I like to call it, the Bleeding Scout, which kinda should already give away what I'm currently doing during this gameplay. But before I go into detail to why I like to do this and why it's pretty good if you are good at it, I suppose, I have to point out that YouTube is kind of broken again in the subscription box department. This happens, you know, now and then, and I think that bigger YouTubers already have notified a lot of people, but I kind of figured it would be nice to put in a video so at least more people will be notified about it. I will put 3 links in the description box of recently released videos of mine, so you can check them out, and if you don't see 3 links, you have to open the entire description box. And I also like to point out you have to keep an eye out for your favorite YouTubers, especially when they update or upload, I should say, on a regular basis, because the chances are somewhat big that you have missed one of their videos, and that's just unfortunate, I suppose. But that said, the Bleeding Scout. So as you can see, my loadout is a stock scattergun, because that's just the best primary for a scout in my opinion. And it's also strange, which always is kind of nice. I'm using the guillotine on the secondary, and yes, that is how I pronounce it, deal with it, and the Rap Assassin. Now the guillotine is my favorite secondary, because I don't like the pistol in the sense that it's not really reliable. The weapon spread, or the bullet spread I should say, is not always the greatest of things you can have, especially when you're trying to finish somebody off and you're constantly missing, even though your visor or your crosshairs are perfectly aimed at the target and all bullets just miss from a medium range. I hate when that happens, especially when the enemy is very near death. It makes me angry. Nerd rage, if you like. The secondary that I'm using right now, of course the guillotine, kinda prevents that because it doesn't have weapon spread, and if you miss, it's either because you screwed up with throwing it, or something weird happened in the sense that, for example, the enemy made a weird corner or made a weird movement, which made your prediction of movement invalid. Nonetheless, it's also very satisfying, and the bleeding on top of that is just very nice, because it does do quite a nice amount of damage and also has the ability to do mini crits when you have a large enough distance. The Rap Assassin is kind of my favorite bat, because I don't really like to use my bat as a weapon for melee. Not even the stock bat, because I find that if I'm going to get close range to somebody, using my scattergun is slightly more effective. So that's what I tend to do, and I don't really use it as a melee, so if I use the stock bat, it just sits there doing nothing. And I don't really like to use the candy cane all the time, because it makes me more vulnerable to explosions. And of course, the Sandman drops my health, but allows me to, of course, stun, but I'm a little bit conflicted about it. Even though it works really well with the guillotine, I'm a little bit conflicted about the health loss and the fact that it's too much of a sacrifice if you do in fact miss your stun ball, which of course is the most important part of the entire Sandman. But the Rap Assassin just allows me to throw Christmas in your face, if you like, and you'll bleed. And that's just very satisfying as well. And you don't lose anything specifically based on health, or you become more squishy or more vulnerable, to put it nicely. And it does allow you to do something with the bat from a distance, compared to not doing anything with it, which is what I was doing. Nothing basically, when it's just a stock bat used for melee purposes, right? So I do gain something from using the Rap Assassin, as well as of course the satisfaction that I also get from the guillotine while an enemy is bleeding, which is just kind of awesome. Also, the bleeding effect makes a lot of people freak the hell out, just like Girardi does, and potentially also Mad Milk sometimes, especially when they notice they are covered in the, well, milk or Girardi. It freaks people out, and that's just kind of awesome because it creates a bit of a chaos. And you can take, you know, advantage of that chaos with your scattergun and just mess people up. But in addition to that, you can also constantly spam bleeds. The guillotine already has a relatively fast recharge rate, but within those moments it's recharging. You have your rap assassin, or if you miss your guillotine, you can always switch to your rap assassin before you come in within real killing distance. Unfortunately, the bleeds don't stack. I've tried this out, they don't seem to stack, and your guillotine seems to be a bit better. So it's usually what is going to happen is that you throw your guillotine and then finish off with your scattergun. But the rap assassin is a nice closer between those two if you are waiting for your recharge and such. I really like doing this because once again it's very satisfying, this entire loadout, to the fact that you can constantly put bleeds and freak people out. And of course you can just then finish it off with the scattergun if you so desire. Anyway, this is it. Make sure to subscribe and I will catch you guys next time. Take care.